Anderson TV today is joined by Kim Williams, who is the Vice President of United Way at Madison County. And Kim, we wanted to talk to you today about what is going on at United Way. So we know you have many programs that you work intimately with, and then also you're in the middle of a campaign.
Mm-hmm. We are. Lots and lots of things going on. The fall is always the busiest time of the year for United Way. It's the time where I get to go out and talk to lots of different people and share with them about what we're doing, and hopefully in turn connect people to a lot more services that they didn't know about before. So it's always a great time. There's a lot going on, lots of places to get, but it's certainly a fun time of year.
Talk a little bit about some of that programming that you're doing.
Sure.
And where you're connecting folks in the Anderson community and Madison County.
Absolutely. One of the biggest things for United Way, and what we kind of focus on so that it kind of helps people understand the services that we have out there, is that we were working really hard to connect families that are facing poverty despite the fact that they're working hard. And unfortunately for our community, for Madison County as a whole, that's a lot of people. There's a lot of folks that are working hard. It's almost 40% of the county as a whole. And when you look really at moms and dads that are single parents, it's 80 to 90% of folks that are in that boat. So we work really hard to put programs and opportunities out there that will meet the needs of those specific kind of folks, because we don't think it's okay that people are working hard and not being able to provide for their families. And
I think that program in particular is so interesting because a lot of folks may think, when they think about United Way, that you are just giving money out to whomever. But here you are creating programming and really focusing on those people who are out there working. They're working very hard and still are unable to make ends meet.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of that situation where a family, there might be somebody that's working, the car breaks down and they don't have the savings to fix it, so then they can't get to work, and then they lose their job, and then this vicious cycle just dominoes from there. And we know that if we can help families get just a little more stable, if we can help them to a better future, that in the long run it's not going to just help them, which it will, but it's going to help their children, and it's going to help the community as a whole. The more folks that we can have employed and stable in healthy families, those kids are going to do better in school, and it just overall is going to improve life for everyone. So in terms of programs that we have, I kind of put them in two boats. We have programs that really work hard at connecting folks to all of the various services that are out there, and there's a lot of them. One of the best ways that we connect people is through 211.
Right.
And
I was going to mention that.
Yes,
I love that.
And 211 is here in Madison County because United Way funds it to be in Madison County. And in every year I kind of get stats from 211, and the one that I got this year that is just so amazing to me is that in our service area, Madison County is second only to Marion County in terms of the number of people in our community that call 211 every year. And for those that don't know what 211 is, it works just like 911. You can call it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It covers 95% of the country. So it doesn't just work here, it works everywhere. And it's just a phone call that you can make to help connect yourself or someone else to help. So if you don't know where help is, you have got a need, or you've met somebody that has a need and you're not sure where it's at, you just call 211, tell them what the problem is, and they will tell you the 2 or 3 places that are closest to where you're at to provide that service. So I always tell people, you never have to feel like you don't know how to connect someone to help. If you tell them about 211 or even call on their behalf, you're going to be able to get them connected to services, which is really vital, particularly for folks that are working, because the unfortunate thing is that a lot of times when people are working, they don't feel like they should have to ask for help, even if they're in a situation where they really need it. And so
that's a really good point.
Yeah. And I understand the pride that comes from, I should be able to do this.
Right.
But sometimes you need help. And so just letting people know about 211 and that they can call for anything. It can be transportation, it can be food, it can be shelter, legal assistance, childcare, whatever it might be, you can call 211 and find out what's available, which is really key to helping people in the community. So that's
Bet.
kind of one big way that we kind of work to help everybody in kind of that moment of crisis that they really need to get connected to some services.
Right, and I love that it's available throughout the night. People work various shifts. It's always available to them
Right.
After hours, so that they can take care of their personal business as they need to.
And they have individuals that speak a variety of language there. So
Great.
there's lots of opportunities, regardless of who you are, that you can find someone that can connect you to help, which is really what it's all about. So that's one of the big things that United Way helps support in the community, in ways that we kind of help connect people to services. Sure. The other big program that we've really been working on in the last year, and we just launched a little over a year ago, is the Thrive Network. And the Thrive Network is a free program. There is no income qualification, so anybody can be a part of it, regardless of how much money you make. And what's really cool about the Thrive Network is that it allows individuals to set their own goals and then have coaches and a support system that will work with them long term for as long as it takes to help them reach those goals.
Okay, so what kind of topics, what kind of goals are available to them to work through?
Really, it's the sky's the limit. But some of the very common ones might be, I need to be able to get out of debt so that I can maybe not have to live with my parents or my grandparents any longer. Need to be able to own my own home. For working families that are struggling and don't even know how they can make ends meet now, their goal might be, I want to send my kids to college someday, and I don't see how I could possibly be able to do that. Or it could be, as simple as I need to, find a job that's going to let me better provide for my family, but I'm not even sure how to go about doing that, or what skills I need to do that, or what's even available out there. So whatever the goal might be, and honestly, you can enter the network with one goal, achieve it, and then set another one. It's really about helping people move forward.
And not be stuck.
Yeah, to not be stuck, and to have that support. Because so often what we have found is that for those that struggle, they just really don't have that underlying support that helps push them forward, that helps them realize what they are capable of, what potential that they have as an individual. So often when you struggle, you kind of lose hope, and you don't think that it could be any different. And you get just stuck that way. Right. So the network is really there to help provide that support that individuals need during those times of struggle, as they're moving forward, as they're working hard, to let them know they can do that.
So with education and as a cheerleader.
Yeah, absolutely. And connection to services. We have 4 different types of coaches in the network. And we have income supports coaches, which are folks that are there to help connect people to any kind of assistance that they might be eligible for. Again, if folks are working, they don't always know what's out there.
Sure.
So whether that be food or childcare or health insurance or anything like that, we can help connect them. And it may just be for a temporary period of time. But a lot of times when you're working towards a goal, you need some help for a period of time to help you get over that hump, to get you past that obstacle. And so if we can kind of help connect people while they're working towards that big goal, to help them get there, that's a big role that income supports coach plays. We also have employment coach, so they're there to help with what is it that you want to do? What is that job that you want? What's the roadmap to get there? Are there skills? Are there education? Is there certifications that you need? Do we need to work on your interviewing skills? Do we need to work on your resume? What is it that we need to do to help you achieve that? And so they kind of walk step by step with clients along that road to get them there and help them get connected to jobs. I know our employment coach has even gone to job fairs with some of the folks just to be that cheerleader as they walk around. You can do this. Here's another folk you can talk to. Here's the resume. We've practiced this. Just those things that are really important when people are trying to do something different.
Right.
We have a financial coach, so things like credit, learning how to budget, because if you are on an income that is limited,
Right. Very tight.
yeah, you've got to make some of those choices up front so that you know what you can operate within. And so learning to budget's a big deal. Also, through the financial coach, we have individual development accounts, which are really cool accounts that when people qualify for those, for every dollar that they save, they earn $3 from the state in a match in order to go back to school, to send their kids to school, to buy a home, or start a business.
Wow. And
Right.
who's eligible for that?
There are some income qualifications for that. I can't remember the exact
Sure.
numbers, but you can earn up to $7,500 in Madison County through those programs. And there are classes and seminars that are a part of that. You know, they want to make sure that you do know how to budget,
Right.
that you do know how to save, and those types of things. But if you qualify, it is an awesome opportunity for folks to be able to save for those things that can really be life-changing in their
Right.
lives.
And give them
Yes.
an extreme boost.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's available there, and we also have a family supports coach. So if there are issues that might be going on with the kids, it could be related to childcare, it could be developmental issues, whatever they might be, they're there to help with that. Some of our coaches have, been a part of DCS hearings and things like
Sure.
that to help connect parents to additional services along the way. And so we also have coaches at most of our coaches are located at the Anderson Impact Center, but we also have coaches in other organizations throughout the county. So Alternatives has a coach on staff, CASA has a coach on
I
staff.
was just going to mention them. I
Yes.
thought they did as well.
Yes, they do. Aspire has a coach on staff. Dove Harbor has a coach on staff. And we're looking to expand the network, hopefully. If we can raise the funds that we need, we'll expand it, because the coaches are already at capacity in just the first year,
Right.
because it is making a difference.
That's
in
what I was
people's
going to say.
lives.
Here you are. You've launched this a year
Yes.
ago, and you're already out of capacity to take on more folks.
Yes, yeah, it's particularly in our employment area. That's where the majority of our folks are coming through, and so, but they're seeing the success. And so I like to tell the story of one person here in this community that was helped through the Thrive Network, because I think it does such a good job of showing people how the network and how United Way is coming around people in this community, because it's in a way that I don't think people see. And so when you think about United Way, people don't always understand what we do real well.
Yes,
but
I
this
agree.
kind of helps explain a little bit about how that works. And so this is a true story from a young girl in our community her name is Destiny, and she was married when she was just 17 years old. And she was married for about 6 years, and she had a little boy named Isaiah. And after she had been married for about 6 years, her husband came to her and said, "I don't want to be married anymore, and I don't want to be a dad anymore." So he left, but he cleaned the bank account out first
On his way.
on his way out and left her with a stack of bills.
Right.
Now, before that happened, they were both working basically minimum wage jobs, and they were able to keep bills paid and food on the table because it was both of them. But suddenly, she's on her own, and she's not even sure how she's going to be able to stay in her home even
Right.
for that month, because on her own, she doesn't earn enough. But, she knew she had to take care of her son, Isaiah. She had to do something. And so she reached out and found a free 1-month CNA class at the Anderson Impact Center. And she thought, it's a start. I can build on that. I can do something there.
Good for her.
Yes. And so
I
she
mean, that alone is
Yeah.
so impressive.
It
to
is,
me.
yeah, 'cause I know-
somebody's character or their ability to just look outside of the present trauma to be able to say, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need more education.
Yeah. And she could have easily given up,
Right.
but she didn't. And she went to the Impact Center, and while she was there, she was able to meet with one of our coaches at the Thrive Network, our employment coach, Mary Baker. And so when she sat down with Mary, she kind of just lost it. And she said, "Mary,
Right.
I don't know how I'm going to do this. This is going to be hard. I know I need to do this, but I don't know how I'm going to do this." And Mary said, "I'm going to help you to do this.
I love that. And Mary's phenomenal.
She is. And so that whole month, Mary encouraged Destiny and worked with her. And, when the month was over, Destiny graduated first in her class as a CNA.
Of course she did.
Of course she did. And she very quickly found a job in a local doctor's office. And
that is wonderful.
that's wonderful, but the story doesn't end there. I think what happened then is she began to realize what she had potential for and what she could do. And so she told Mary, you know what? I want to work at a hospital. And Mary said, okay, well, let's figure out a roadmap to do that. And so they worked on it and found places for her to interview. And then about 6 weeks ago, she just started at Community Hospital here in Anderson. She even sent me a little picture of her badge. She was so excited. And, she started and it was great. And she said, you know what? I can do more. I know I can do more. Showing her through the network and what she accomplished just showed her there is so much more that she could do if she just had that support. So she told Mary, I want to be a nurse. And so now that she's working at Community, there's a lot more opportunity to connect her to funding to go back to school to be a nurse. And so that's kind of her next goal. But the other cool...
That's phenomenal.
And that's just one thing that was going on. I mean, at the same time, we were able to connect her to some food assistance in that short term that she needed that help. And, she was very hesitant because she thought I shouldn't have to. But in the short term, she needed that. And, we told her it's not going to be there forever. You're not going to need this forever, but for right now you do. And then the other really cool thing is that her son Isaiah, who was almost 2 when she started at the network, he wasn't talking yet. And so she knew there was some speech issues there.
Delay, yes.
Right. And so through the network and through the family supports coach, we were able to connect Isaiah to some free speech therapy services and get him into a local child care that supported those services and get her some child care assistance. So that now, from what I know, he has begun to speak and he's using sign language and he's doing great. So when you think about the Thrive Network and you think about how United Way works with people, that's how we work with people.
Very holistic.
Very holistically.
Every aspect of her life and her crisis, they'll come along board and talk about and address every single area.
Right, because when folks are struggling, it's not one thing.
Right.
You've got to help people realize how all these things interplay and how if you can become stable as a family, it really truly does impact every part of your life and those lives of those people that you touch. Right. Because if you're struggling financially and you have children in the home, they feel that.
Absolutely. They feel that stress.
They feel that stress, which then can make school potentially more difficult for them and other things. And it's not anything that anybody wants. It's just kind of what happens. And so the more that we can help people along the path to stability, we really think it addresses a lot of issues that are going on in the community. So
I love that program.
Yeah, it is a great program.
Story.
Yeah.
That does encapsulate exactly what it's supposed to look like. And
exactly.
How it's supposed to work.
Exactly. And so, my goal is to go out there and just raise as much money as I can so that we can help more people like Destiny, and that we can expand the services to the number of people, to bring more partner organizations on board to have coaches in their facilities,
right?
So that we can just kind of continually to help more and more people. So that's kind of where we're at and why we work to raise money every year, because we need that in our community to be able to serve people in that way.
So talk a little bit about the campaign that you're currently in.
Sure. This year's campaign is well underway. The goal this year is to raise $800,000. Our campaign chair is Beth Tharp, who's the CEO of Community Hospitals here in Anderson. And, we've got lots of volunteers out there, so folks may have actually seen a few of those volunteers. They may have seen me out there because I get to talk to lots of workplaces. I get one of those perks of getting to see inside a lot of businesses in our community that people don't all get to see in. So, hopefully you're part of a workplace that gives you that opportunity. If not, we would love at United Way to talk to you more about how you can support the community, how you can support folks like Destiny by supporting United Way. And
Right.
so you can give us a call at the office. You can find out more on our website. There's whole lots of different ways. We have got great volunteer opportunities for folks to get involved with. Just get on board and be a part of building this community up.
And if folks want to donate, they don't have to make big lump sum donations. Do you even have a program where they can pay just a little bit every pay period?
Sure,
if they
yeah.
want to?
If you're part of an employer group that has deductions for employees, the easiest way that folks do that is they take $1 or $2 out of their paycheck and it just automatically comes to United Way. It's an amount that most people don't even notice.
Right.
But, the upside of United Way is we touch so many people when it comes to raising money that way, that when we add it all together, it makes a huge amount of money that we can go out and work with folks like Destiny. And so there's that way. But if you're not part of a workplace, or if your workplace doesn't offer that, we have all kinds of options, whether that be cash or check. We can even bill you. You can set up monthly credit card stuff. All that kind of stuff are options. If you want to give, there's a way, and we will help you set it up.
Right. Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, so many great things happen from United Way, and I know you do the weatherization program, and you support local not-for-profit organizations, and so you're kind of the nexus for
we bring a lot of people
city
together.
and county. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do serve the whole county, not just Anderson. I mean, we do have, obviously, because Anderson is the hub for the county, there's more here, so it might seem like we serve just Anderson, but we really do serve the entire county and partner with people all throughout the community in lots of different ways. And so Operation Weatherization, as you mentioned it's another great program. It's the first Saturday of November every year. And we love to go out and weatherize homes of folks that just need that support, whether that's to help them keep their utility bill down in the winter, or maybe they're seniors or disabled and they just can't physically do those types of things like caulking and putting plastic on windows and all that kind of stuff. So it's a great opportunity to get out and directly serve those in our community that need it most. So that's always happening every first Saturday of November.
Good for you. So if folks want to donate, and it takes all of us
It does.
to contribute
It does.
And to help the people who are working currently that just need a little extra help, they can go to your website, correct?
Yes.
So tell us what your website is.
Our website is www.unitedwaymadisonco.org. So you can find out all kinds of information on the programs that I mentioned there. And there's a big donate or give now button in the upper right-hand corner if that's something that you're interested in. You can also give us a call at the office if you want to find out what options there are. And our office is 643-7493.
Very good. Thank you so much
Hey,
for being
thank you,
here with us
Darla.
today. This is a very important piece of our community as a whole, and so we're glad to be here to talk with you about this, and hope that this conversation helps and it spreads through the community and people go to that website and take a look at
All
it.
right. Thank you, Darla.